Ladies and gentlemen, let us look at Spring AI and the text-to-image library. And I've already created a dinosaur just as a cliffhanger so you can see the possibilities. And it's actually quite easy to use this library right here. You have to set an API, I'm using OpenAPI, but you can also use other frameworks or other AI providers. You just have to set the key. It's a good thing to set the key in your environment variables, and because then you don't have it in your project, you will not commit that. You will not accidentally commit that to Git and share it with a lot of other people. But you set it right here, Spring AI, OpenAI, API key, and then if you do like this, then it points to your environment variable. So this also saves you a bit of code. Of course, I could have used the system and then get an int, and then I could have set this ad hoc on the fly when I'm actually calling the model. But it's just much easier to set it right here. Then you don't have to think about any configuration. It's just set up and it's just put in automatically with this setup right here. Okay, so let us look at the code. It is really easy to use, and it's it's very user-friendly. When I say user-friendly, I mean developer-friendly. I have some prompts up in the top, but just don't mind that. That's how I create my YouTube thumbnails. I'm getting a bit of criticism for using AI-generated thumbnails, and especially on Reddit. And also other places actually. I think there's a kind of there's a mood right now and an opinion right now that says that you should not use that for YouTube videos because I think people also fear that the content is also AI generated. I don't know why. If you know why, then let me know in the comments. But then we have the generate image right here. This is where the fun part starts, and we have something we need to use the OpenAI image model, and we just inject that. When I do something like this with private final OpenAI image model, then it is used. It is in the constructor inject because I am using Lombok and the required args constructor. This means that I will automatically get a constructor that matches the OpenAI image model. That means the whole Spring Boot will actually inject this model automatically. This is an instance of this class right here, a bean from the context automatically into this service right here. So this is a service that I've created. So I have this method. It takes a formatted prompt, and then we can call the OpenAI model right here. And you need to be a bit mindful of if you look at examples for what other people has done out on the internet, then these options right here and these parameters, they even though that they look quite free, you can type in whatever you want to, but you will actually get some errors from the model when you call the AI provider. Then you will get some errors if they don't match the model that you give in right here. So the default model is actually DALL-E 3. Which first of all will actually give you an image on a website that you have to download then afterwards, and then furthermore then you would be able to set n to a higher number than 1. In this situation, if you use gpt-image-1.5, which is the latest and greatest and awesome from OpenAI right now to generate images, and the quality is much better with this than DALL-E 3, but you can try it out. If you just strip this line right here or write DALL-E 3, then you can try out, and you can see that there's an example of this in the Spring documentation, because of course it is always slightly behind. They cannot update all of this all the time. So, and then there's another thing. When you choose to use GPT-image-1.5, then you also have to set the height and the width to some certain values right here. And if you don't, the cool thing about this, if you type in the wrong value, then you will actually then the AI API will actually tell you that you can use these values instead. So it's actually quite helpful, and it's very easy to use. The same with the quality. In the code examples from Spring, then you will see that it says high definition right here instead of medium. And again, the first time you call this the REST endpoint, then you will get an error back that says, hey, use low, medium, or high instead because you're using this model right here. I'll show an example of this, but then what do we do then? Then we create a URL. Then we call the model right here, and then we get a response back. So this is actually the code. Look how little code we have to write to actually to generate an image nowadays. It's so easy. It's really cool API. Then you can get the URL. You need the URL from the response if you are using DALL-E 3, it depends on your model. If you're not using DALL-E 3, if you're using GPT-image, one of the new GPT-image, then you actually get the image back as bytes. You get it as you get it back as base 64, as a base 64 encoded string. So that is what you get. Then you can convert that to bytes like this. So that means that these two lines here, I actually don't need those two. Could delete those. I also don't need to print them out then, of course, down here. So I could also outcomment those. Mike, why don't you delete the code instead of outcommenting it? Oh, I need this line actually. So that was a little bit too much. And when it says JSON right here, it's actually base 64 encoded. Yeah. And it's actually not JSON. I don't know why they say that it's JSON, because if I decode this, when I decode this into bytes, and if I save that directly as an image, like I do right here, write the image, then then it's stored directly on my local machine. So it has nothing. I don't know why it actually says JSON. Yeah. Okay. Let us put in the URL again. I can see I'm actually returning that right here. So that's actually it. It was quite easy. Mike, try to use it so we can see that it actually works. Yes, I have created a test right here. Of course, I have a test right here. Generate image, a huge dinosaur. Then we could choose something else right here. A happy, middle-aged, not old, middle-aged nerd with a laptop. Yes, with a laptop. What should the nerd do? I should do something interesting, right? Writing a mammoth. And then we'll just run this test, and then we'll see what happens. It'll take some time. It'll spend some of my tokens that I paid for. I use pay as you go, because then I can follow the expense and see see how much I use. I mostly used it for thumbnails and also for generating these demo videos right here. So it's not, I don't use that much. It's not that expensive, I think. But if you're using it for something really, really big, it also depends on the quality. Then of course you should, when you create these prompts right here, that's another thing. You should always write which style you want it in. Maybe you want it in a cartoonish style or in a old style or something like that. Then but I got the picture right here. You should always so that yes, that's me. Yes. On a mammoth. Let us try something else. It's actually quite good. So make it in an old-fashioned 1920s style. Location is New York. Yes, own imagination sets the limit, and then instead of quality low, let's try to set it to high. Yeah, we need to spend those tokens. And then just for fun, I'm going to set this to another number just so you can see what kind of messages we actually get back from the REST API. But let us just see the image first, right? So, yeah, now it takes a little bit longer. I should not have chosen high, but that's another story. I'll set it down to low afterwards, just then we can see the difference. So that is the biggest pain right now with AIs, is actually the time to wait. Maybe I'm impatient, I don't know. Yes, then I'm on a mammoth. It's in a old-fashioned style. The cast looks right, and it's in New York. Yes. Let us try it with low instead. Just for fun, I'm going to set this to 2 instead. Then we will see what happens. Now I should get an error that the maximum is 1. Or maybe it will actually give me 2 images, I don't know. response, get result. Then I should have chosen results instead. Okay, now okay, 2 was actually okay with low. I did not know that, but now I know that. So let us look at low. It's actually not that bad. It's a little bit more cartoonish. Sometimes low actually gives a better image. It gives a more simple image with less details. What else should we try right here? Let me just for fun, I'm going to set this to medium. I would like to trigger that. I would like to trigger the error so you can see what it looks like when you're doing something that this model does not support. So now I say medium. And actually, I think it will generate 2 images. That's also why I should not have 2. It is actually, it's okay with more than 1 image. I just got an error to begin with. Using in something. Okay, then I could actually start. I'm actually wasting a lot because when I say get output or get result, then I just get the first result. I get the first, and it's actually returning multiple images. That's a bit of a shame actually. But that's okay. This is medium. And for my use case, when it's just something silly, then of course low is perfectly fine. And just 1 image at a time is also fine. Okay, let me try to change the height to 125 instead. That should trigger an error. I know that's not a valid resolution. Yes, now I got my error. Thank you very much. So then it says something, let me get this response back from the REST endpoint. It says invalid size 1025. It needs to be one of these ones or auto. You can also choose auto. I don't like to choose auto because then suddenly I get a widescreen or I get a vertical one when I need a horizontal image instead. So I like to be in control, and yeah. So it works cool. It works fine. Should we make 1 more image before we stop? Yes, we should. Make minimalism nerd. Add a convention. Teaching others how to be like Mike. Be wise like Mike. Boom, boom. Let's do that and see what happens now. I should have made the style cartoonish actually. But let's see, make the style cartoonish. But serious. Let's see if that's possible actually. Okay, so now we got the image, so we will just look at it again. Yes. How to be wise like Mike. Read, ask questions, be kind, stay curious, don't be a jerk. Exactly. That is my words. It also looks a little bit more like me when I have a beard. So, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for all of your comments. But most of all, thank you for being you. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.